Michelle. How's it going there? How are ya?
Hey, Lindsay. Good, good. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on in New York City? Anything new? Anything we should know about?
Well, today is like the coldest
Oh my
day.
gosh.
It's like, I think like 20 degrees and
Whoa.
I have to, oh gosh, I got Dan to drop my son off at school, but I'm the one picking him up. So I'm a little bit like, what am I going to wear?
You're going to wear layers. Layers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. How about you? How's everything in
It's
Denver?
good. Yeah, just ready to go skiing and get outside. You know, it's hard when you can't go outside in the winter. But if you can go outside, get some sunshine and ski a bit, it's good. So, very excited to do more of that this spring. Yeah, things are good, Michelle.
Good, good. So Lindsay, I mean, I have a question. Do you talk about things in the world that are confusing or maybe a little frustrating to you?
All of the time, because
Everything
I feel
is
like I'm
confusing and
always
frustrating.
confused. I think I've shared this
That's
before.
funny.
I don't know. I find things like last night, I tried to assemble a bench and I really struggled. It was, I know we're talking about bigger things than just assembling benches, but users manuals,
but-
Michelle, I think the devil wrote them, you know? Assembly materials, right? So this wrench and this screw goes here, and I did it all backwards, and I was so confused. I had to redo the whole thing. It took me 2 hours to do it wrong, and then 2 hours to do it right again. So yeah.
Oh no. Guys, you know, that was no offense to any of our listeners who might create, you know, manuals.
But I would say that there could
we
be some
don't.
improvement in that area.
So yeah, well, at least you read the directions. Like my dad always tells a story that when he first moved in with my mom, he didn't bother, of course, to read the directions.
Oh, yeah.
And he snaps two pieces together, and then my mom reads the directions like, no matter what, do not fit those two pieces together. And that's like literally, and he still talks about that to this
That's
day.
hilarious. Well, it sounds like they're a good match then in that case. They kind of balance each other out a little bit. It's the ultimate experience, right?
That's
Trying to
right.
assemble furniture with your partner. It's a good test.
Yes. That's true. That's true. So guys, today we're going to give you vocabulary for when things are confusing, but kind of in a little bit of a frustrating way. It doesn't have to be so frustrating, but I don't think that these are necessarily just meaning confusing. They have a little bit of a deeper
Yeah.
meaning. So, but we're going to take it more in this like confusing kind of mixture between confused and frustrating
Okay, good.
feeling.
Yeah, so we're going a little deeper today than assembling furniture, right, Michelle? So
A little. So we're going to get into it in just a second. But Lindsay, what do we want to remind our
Well, I
listeners?
just want to let you guys know that if you want to be able to read the transcripts while you listen to this show, the place to do it is in the app. We have an Android app and an iOS app. So go to allearsenglish.com/app to download it and do your 7-day free trial. All right. Good.
Awesome. Okay, so now what are we talking about if we're not talking about assembling some furniture, right? What are some things that might be confusing and or a little bit frustrating?
Well, we're recording this in early January. We know it's coming out in mid-February, but we just had the 1-year anniversary of the attack on the Capitol. And I'm sure everyone heard about this. That's honestly, Michelle, the first thing that comes to mind as being a source for me of frustration and just outright confusion. I've never been more confused and frustrated about why this happened and what it means for our democracy in the future, actually.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean,
That's a
not
big
good
one.
but that's a good example of that kind of feeling, like something that makes you like a little angry or frustrated, but you're confused. You don't understand why. Why is this happening?
What would drive this mob to attack the Capitol, enter the Capitol when the Congress was going about ratifying the vote? Like do we not know what we have, right? Which is a democracy. Sorry to get political right now, but I just have to say what I think.
No, well, But that's, I mean, I literally wrote as one of my ideas for politics, things in the news. I think that's one of the biggest things nowadays that is, because we are so divided, things like that.
Yeah.
These words are kind of good for
It's the perfect example.
Kind of situations.
Yeah.
It is a perfect example. So it's fine to get political because that's life,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So, I mean, outside of politics, I think sometimes you can use it for the way somebody acts towards you or somebody's actions that you just don't understand.
Yeah. What would be do you have someone in your life who confuses you or has confused you in the way they act? Any examples?
Oh gosh, I'm sure I can think of some, but I mean, I guess if somebody is angry at you for a reason that you don't really understand why, or maybe you think that's blown out of proportion or something like that,
yes,
that could be an example.
Yeah, that's a good. I think I come back to the idea that a lot of times if people are acting a little weird, it's more about them than about you. They may be going through something that's really heavy that we have no idea, and they maybe making comments that make no sense or inappropriate to you, but it's about them usually, right?
Right. That's true. And we have to kind of consider that, take a step back sometimes and not blame ourselves for everything.
Yeah, completely. What else?
So another thing could be like a new invention.
Okay.
This not necessarily angry in the same way that you might feel about politics or something like that, but having a new invention, like for example, I know that Facebook and metaverse, things like that. It's like something that might be a little like, I don't like what?
That's a good
like
example.
I don't know what's going on, right?
Totally. Why do I need a meta character? And I can live my life in real life. I don't need to go into this universe online. Or just simple things like advances in AI technology. Why do I need my refrigerator to talk to me? At least at this stage, maybe in 20 years, I'll say, of course I need my refrigerator to talk to me, to tell me what I have.
That's the craziest thing, right? Like you don't realize what you need or what you think you need until you get it, and then you feel like you can't live without it. I think that's like the goal of all these tech companies.
Yeah, and that's also what they call lifestyle creep. Right? Lifestyle creep. I mean, I've even seen that moving to new apartments and now being in a home, things I had before, I don't want to give up, like outdoor space, having a little porch to sit on. I don't want to give that up. I'm not going to go backwards. So now I've decided I need that. Right. And that we have to be careful with this.
That's true. That's true. Like all of a sudden you realize like, oh, well, that's a non-negotiable, right? When in the past you're okay without something, but then it changes.
Yeah, that's why I feel like living in New York, when I lived in New York, I had 3 roommates. I had like a little makeshift bedroom. I was living a very low cost life, but I loved it. But now it would be really hard to go back to having 3 roommates, like you have to do these things when you're young.
Yes, exactly. So those are some good examples, guys. So what are the vocabulary words for today, Lindsay? What's the first one?
All right, this is a fantastic word. I'm so glad this is in our plans today for our listeners, guys. The phrase is mind-boggling. Okay.
Mind-boggling.
So it's mind-boggling how politicians can't find common ground these days, and I totally agree with that.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of problems in that way. But mind-boggling, I mean, you could just say something is like confusing, mind-boggling, for something that doesn't necessarily frustrate you, but I think it's best used in this kind of fashion. It's a little more intense than just saying something's confusing.
Yeah, and this word boggling, I don't know if it's an actual word or not by itself, but it gives the idea of like your brain moving around in your head. At least it does for me. Right? Is that what you get?
Same.
Okay. I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm. I think of the game. You remember the game Boggle?
No, I didn't remember that. No.
It's like a word. It's a word game where you have all different letters and then you shake it up, and it's called Boggle, and then you try and find as many words as possible.
Okay.
So I think of the game Boggle, like it's like shaking.
Yeah, perfect. That makes sense. So that is the feeling you get when something is mind-boggling. You're just, oh my God, confusion. Like my head's going from here to there to there. Guys, great native phrase. So good. I love it. What's next, Michelle?
And the next one is to say something makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, you could say if somebody explains something to you, oh, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like it's often used in more of a like an intense way,
Yes.
right? Like, I don't understand why she can't change her plans this one time. It makes no sense.
Yes, 100%. I agree. So there is a slight difference between saying it doesn't make sense and it makes no sense, and it's the emphasis. Completely.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it makes no sense because you're making in this expression you're putting a little judgment.
A little
to
judgment.
It. You're not just saying like it's confusing. Right. You're saying I've decided it makes no sense. Like
Yes.
There's no reason for this. Why is she doing this?
Yes,
Those
exactly. And I put the emphasis in that sentence. It sounds like you and I emphasize different things in that sentence. Usually I say it makes no sense. Right. But so maybe that's a personal style thing, but it really is about you do change your tone of voice in one way or another. Right, Michelle?
Right. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you want to sound like
Yeah.
you have to sound a little frustrated.
Yes.
Right. And we can say it differently, but I might have said the no. I might have emphasized the no, saying it in a different context.
Yes.
It can just be different every time.
Yeah, guys, this is why we can be a little creative with our language here. And we want you guys to get to that point where you can connect and be creative. So makes no sense.
Right.
And then baffling, another really good one.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes. Also, just same idea, right? It's just like so confusing. Like same idea. So I find it baffling. This is the example I used before. That people think being in a virtual universe could be a good idea.
Yeah, completely, very just confusing and kind of. It also sort of implies a little distance that you have from the thing, I think. You can tell me if I'm reading too much into this, Michelle, but I feel like when I say,
I agree.
That's baffling to me, but you're not really involved in the thing so much. Or maybe that's true for any of these, but yeah, baffling, confusing.
Yeah, and then the last one is perplexing. I feel like this almost also has like it sounds kind of mysterious.
Yes. You have distance from it. You don't get it. It's perplexing. So here's a sample sentence, guys. Write this down. His attitude was pretty perplexing. He shouldn't have taken it out on his mom. What does it mean to take it out on his mom?
Good question. To take it out, someone maybe we'll do
another episode.
A bonus on another. To take it out on someone, it's like you take whatever you're feeling and you get angry at that person.
Yes.
You kind of push your emotions, your negative emotions, and kind of have it negatively impact someone else.
That actually would be a great episode, Michelle, right? Don't take it out on me, right? Just because this happened. We use that a lot. And I think that would be a fantastic episode for natural English for our listeners.
I wonder if we've done that. I have to look that one up. That sounds so familiar. Who knows? I will look, but yes, that is a good one. So those are a bunch of them. And I think these are just more intense than just saying, oh, it's confusing. Yeah. Right? It's just more.
I can think of something that recently baffled me, and this is in like a very light sense, right? It's on the lighter side of things. When we were in Germany, and I think a lot of our listeners are going to be able to actually give me the answer to this. I still don't have the answer. So we walked in, hopefully I didn't share this last time, but we walked into the beer hall. Like we went to the famous beer halls in Munich, right? And when I go to like a brewery in the US, I assume I'm going to see women and men and dogs and kids, right? It's like a family affair. Everyone's out Sunday afternoon. Yeah. We walked into these beer halls. It's all dudes. It's all men. There are no women. I'm like, where are the women? and
interesting.
And at first I was like, am I in a gay bar? Like, what's going on? But then I saw that they had wedding rings on because I think they actually wear the wedding rings on the other hand. The other hand. We wear a wedding ring on our left hand, right, Michelle? Mm-hmm. But I think in Germany, or the other finger, I'm not sure. Anyways, I couldn't figure this out. I was going to my tour guides throughout the whole trip. But where are all the women at the beer halls? Why are they not drinking beers with their husbands or with the guys, with the friends? Does that seem weird to you? It seems odd to me.
Yeah. Did your tour guides give you any answers?
He kind of laughed and he said, I think the women are at the wine bar. But I was like, well, why? Like, it just seems like a very gendered experience, like a kind of a segregated gendered experience. It's very interesting. So guys, I know we have a lot of listeners in Germany, so feel free to email me, Lindsay@allersenglish.com, and let me know what's going on.
Absolutely. I'd be curious.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to hear the
very
answer to
baffled
that.
by that. So anyways, Michelle.
They were baffled.
Yes.
Awesome. So should we do a role play, Lindsay?
Let's do it. Here we go. So here you and I are friends. Are you ready?
Here we go.
Okay. I called the restaurant, but they don't take reservations.
Really? That makes no sense to me.
I know. It's baffling. They also have a price minimum. Seems like a snooty place.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me that a place wouldn't want business.
It is perplexing for sure. Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you get in and your restaurant that you're at won't seat you until you have everyone in your party?
Yeah, that's very frustrating.
So frustrating. And it is kind of baffling because you have 9 out of 10 people. You'd think they'd want to get you down and get you started, get the meals going, get the drinks going.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't get it. So, here we go. So I said that makes no sense to me, right? That they don't take reservations. A lot of places actually don't take reservations.
That's true. Actually, I wonder if that's a COVID thing or what's going on there. I want to make, I want to make sure our listeners heard that you really did make an emphasis on that, right? As opposed to if you could have said that doesn't make sense, but it's much more neutral in your intonation, right? That makes no sense to me. Okay, so that
makes no sense to me. Yes.
There's a little drama that you're adding into that, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. And then what did you say?
All right, I said, I know, it's baffling. And here we are we're talking about this restaurant. We're not so sure how we feel about their policies, right, Michelle? Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then I said, yeah, it's mind-boggling to me that a place wouldn't want business. Right?
Yeah, so here, this is an option, guys. In conversation, you can either move on to another topic or you can go deeper into this sort of a little bit of a criticism. And this is a bit of, what do you call this? Like commiserating kind of, right? You're coming together, you're complaining about something together, which we've done episodes about this before, Michelle, about how you can build a connection by complaining together sometimes about a shared experience.
Right.
Right?
Right. It's true. It's true. Unfortunately, it's true.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. And then I said, the last one, I said, it's perplexing for sure. I just took it to the next level. Yes. Love it.
Yeah. So we're using all of these. I mean, you don't have to use all of these in, 2 sentences, but I think it's okay. It's different ways to describe that feeling, which is good. So yeah, this is just useful. Just instead of saying something is confusing or it makes you angry, it's kind of a little bit of a combination. Now, you could use them in other ways as well, but we wanted to focus on this aspect today. So, Lindsay, any words of wisdom before we head off?
Words of wisdom, Michelle. The words are, I like precision when it comes to naming my feelings, right? Yes. So when you guys can reach that level in English of being precise of how you feel, for example, about the insurrection in the Capitol or about having Alexa AI in your refrigerator, right? It's going to build that connection even more. So that's what we want for you guys to be able to do that. All right, Michelle?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Lindsay, that was great. Thank you so much. And guys, remember to get the All Ears English app, allearsenglish.com/app.
All right, Michelle. See you in the next episode. Take care.
Bye. Bye.